Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm here 365 days a year to take your political questions at noon or as soon after as I can. I'm running late today. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of struggling today. But I'm going to get through it. You're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. We're gonna hang in there. And I've never worn these nails before, so who knew? All right, 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country, and that's an ongoing thing. Put your questions or your comments, anything in all caps in the chat is how you communicate with me. And other than that, please just type normally. People have whole conversations and are really supportive of each other. We have a fantastic community. Thank you. Thank you. And also thank you to our troll slayers, our wacky troll slayers. Thank you. And to Kristen from Uncover the News, thank you for bringing such great headlines. I was, thank you, Diana. I was keeping an eye out. I was hoping that MSNBC would put out the video for the interview or the questions they were just asking to Colonel Vindman. And oh, thank you, Kathy Anderson. Thank you. Okay, so they were talking to Colonel Vindman, and actually we're just gonna jump in at 2 minutes. Yeah, because this kind of goes along with Jeff Sitzman's question. And if I can find the link later, I'll put it in the description box. I'll put the link in the description box if they post it later, or I'll post it on social media like Twitter. I do most of my stuff on Twitter, to be honest. It's just easier. I find it not as overwhelming as email. I don't know why, but anyway. So this morning on MSNBC, they were talking to Colonel Vindman, and what he was saying was different from what I've been hearing a lot of other people saying. Because what he was saying is, I'm assuming you guys have... well, maybe can you map. This is important. Conflict in Ukraine. Pull something up here. All right, that's not showing the whole country. But that is. Okay. So let me share this. Share screen. Chrome tab. New York Times. And let me turn off this overlay for a second. There we go. All right, so this is what's going on this is the New York Times, their map tracking the Russian invasion. So Kyiv is right here. I'm assuming you can see the mouse. So Kyiv is right here. And what like Clint was it? Who's the CIA guy who left the CIA because of Trump? Watts. Clint Watts, I think his name was. He's been on MSNBC recently in front of the big board with this map saying what's going on. And Clint Watts, thank you. So what Clint Watts has been saying is that these forces coming in from the south, they're forming this land bridge right here with their forces coming in from the east. And these forces in the south here are going to try to take over Odessa and this area over here to cut off any kind of seafaring reinforcements, supply lines, and what have you. There have been talk coming from the north that there are actually more than, they're almost like 2 or 3. There are at least 2 forces coming down toward Kyiv. One sort of from the northeast, one more from the northwest, and they're going to try to surround Kyiv and cut it off. Okay, so he's talking about this kind of stuff, and the man knows what he's talking about in general. Okay, good. But Colonel Vindman, whose first name just completely has gone out of my head, he has a twin brother. Anyway, hello, Stephanie. So, try to pull this together. Try to pull myself together. Yes, support can still be sent in via Poland. Here. So, now what Colonel Vindman was saying, Alexander Vindman, thank you guys. What Alexander Vindman was saying is this is not as coherent as it looks. And I mean, to some extent, I think what he was describing, the way I would look at it is, I think perhaps, certainly in the U.S., perhaps we get a little spoiled about what a big, strong military looks like, because the U.S. big, strong military is flippin' big and flippin' strong, and wow. Yeah. And I think we forget that the brother is Yevgeny, Eugene. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. So we get so spoiled by what we have in the States that we forget about other countries. Plus the fact that in Russia, the oligarchs, Putin, what have you, they have been siphoning so much money away from the people and away from the country that the military gets kind of shortchanged. There are things that are not being, for all the experience that the Russians have in invasions and fighting against insurgents and all of this kind of stuff, it isn't as robust. The supply lines are apparently a mess. The equipment, some of the equipment is just turning out to be not great. The conscripts are, their military force is demoralized. It's not, and yes, I agree. Who is just Lisa Graham was saying Russia wants to surround and lay siege to Ukraine, but they really did not count on the Ukrainian resistance. Also, Russian supply lines are god awful. I'm totally agreeing with you there. They weren't expecting the resistance, so the strategy was awful. And then the logistics of the whole thing, they just blew it. So they've got their forces split So as big as their forces are, they have them split. They're meeting resistance. That they weren't expecting. And what's happening is, as they're trying to move forward, as the Russians are trying to move forward, what's happening is they're being just bombarded from Ukraine on the front, Ukrainian forces on the front, right? So the Russians are trying to move forward, but Ukraine is just pounding. Okay, so this Russian force is using all of its ammunition. It's using all of it's if not completely bogged down, at least slowed. And so they're using their rations, they're using their ammunition, they're using their fuel for their vehicles. They're tired. They're not getting rest. They're all of this stuff. And what's happening is they're calling. So then these Russian forces have to call for resupplies, reinforcement, but certainly resupplies, and it's just not working. Their resupply is terrible, apparently. And so while it looks right now like there's no way Ukraine can win, there's no way they won't be overrun, there's no way, the reality is every bit of fighting back they're doing is having a really good effect. It really is grinding down those Russian forces. And you have to remember, the Russian forces, their morale is low. The Ukrainians, their morale is high, as in, I'm not giving up my freedom. So Geek Hillbilly says, in short, Putin's mouth wrote a check that his military, his butt, can't cash. Yes. Yes, replacing the road signs, drones, seeing what you guys. Yes, William, I bet that burns Pooty's biscuits. Yes. So while it may seem like it's just a matter of days, it could very well not be days. It could very well be a lot longer than that. So let me see if there's anything else on this page. Ground fighting, airstrikes or fires. Take our survey. No, thank you. So we're looking at Kyiv. Kyiv is here. Main train station. Ooh, cruise missile seen in parking lot. Ooh. Railways southwest of Kyiv remain open. That's good. But there are airstrikes or fires here. There's ground fighting here and up here. Okay. And civilians are fleeing to Kyiv. Okay. And the nuclear complex. All right. This is really good information. But anyway, let me stop that screen. There we go. So here's the other thing, though. I want to look at, are the Russian supply lines going to kind of tank this whole thing for Russia? Well, just their ridiculous, everything they're doing, all the mistakes they're making. And then after that, the thing is, though, Vindman was saying, here's the problem. This is going to make Vladimir Putin feel like he is cornered. and he doesn't react well in situations like that. So, all right. So we're going to start with at 15:30. 30, and this goes along with Jeff Sitzman's question. Russian resupply lines and whatnot. Artemis Lunet. Today's favorite report from a local journalist in Ukraine. A woman took down a Russian drone with a jar of pickles. God bless you, Ukraine. God bless you, Ukrainians. Oh boy. That was awesome. All right, Russian resupply lines. That was awesome. All right, the Russian resupply lines. And thank you for being here with me. This is kind of hairy. And you being here helps, because this is the kind of stuff I would look at if I was by myself. For those who are new, this whole political tarot thing is not a bandwagon I jumped on. I've been a news junkie for years. So, Weezy Squeeze Box, I have pickles. How do you use them as a weapon? You throw them. Incoming. Lucky girl. Incoming. Pickle, 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 pickle. And it worked. We are not worthy of the Ukrainians. We are just not. They are beyond awesome. Oh, gosh. All right. Supply lines. Okay, so the front line is working. Well, that's not... It's kind of slow working. There are a lot of soldiers fighting for the Russians who were just not into it. One of the assassination attempts that Zelensky survived was apparently from Chechens. And the Chechen rebels who are, or rather the Chechen elite soldiers that are under Putin's control, they're nuts. Apparently, I think that the nice way it was described was, they're very effective, but they lack discipline. They're nuts. Okay, but anyway, they might be one thing, but it's the regular soldiers, and especially since he's trying to, he's broken the forces. He's got like 3 fronts at least. Kathy Lamson saying jar of olives up next. Ooh, Deborah Murphy says a pickle jar may fit in potato guns. Ooh. Aditya saying she just offered Russia a jar of pickles. Here, hungry? Condiment warfare, says Plucky Heroine. I love that. True. Flying mustard would leave stains. Condiment warfare. Wow. Isn't Vlasic pickles? Isn't that Polish? Anyway. Pickled beets, lucky girl, would be. But anyway, all right. The supply lines. Sanctions. The rich have lots of money. Let's go to war, Putin decides. He was not prepared. He is in this bubble, and he was not prepared. There was a really interesting article I read this morning about the psychology of the oligarchs, which I'm sorry to have so many random things coming into my head, but it's just information I've picked up along the way. But the psychology of the oligarchs, which is they've done psychological studies that once you reach a certain amount of wealth, from that point, more and more, people like that, they feel this incredible need to show it off. And it's like they can't help themselves. Also, there was a apparently it's been shut down now, but there was an Instagram account it was like rich kids from Russia, and it was all their all the posts from the stupidly rich and just the obnoxious flaunting of wealth. And speaking of obnoxious flaunting of wealth, another quick aside, the yachts that have been seized. Apparently, we were talking, the question was, what will happen to them? Will they just be sold and, will corrupt people get the money, or will it go toward Ukraine, or will it go to the country? And what I was getting is it will vary from country to country. But there was one important thing we need to also take into consideration, which is it is so unbelievably expensive to run those super yachts. Because they have big staffs. But it isn't just that. They are in the yachts themselves are in, really, that's saltwater sea is not a great, wondrous environment to be in, to keep your stuff going, to keep your stuff from disintegrating. So between all of the maintenance, all of the stuff that has to be done, apparently to run one of these super yachts can cost nearly $1 million a year to keep one of these super yachts running. And they deteriorate rapidly. So we should keep that in mind too. Lisa Graham says the yachts are as big as cruise liners. Yep. Jeff Sitzman is saying 100 million. Woo. Okay. Did someone said it was on YouTube? Please tell me the pickle. Please tell me the pickle jar video. Just tell me there's a video and it's on YouTube. Kathy Anderson, our distinguished veteran. Thank you every single day for your service, for your greatness, and your fighting spirit just every day to thrive. And you've protected our country. You've sacrificed, and we appreciate you. But anyway, says, let's send armed food to Ukraine. That's pretty awesome. So, Lucky Girl says, next, frozen pierogies. There we go. Ooh, Aspie Third Eye says, I'm waiting to see a trebuchet that slings SUVs into Russian tanks. Trebuchets are, whew, food fight, says Stephanie Barton. I love that. I love that. Hello, Tara. Oh my gosh. Food fight. Oh, is it 100 million to run one of those a year? I thought it was $1 million a year to run one of those yachts. If you're saying it's 100 million, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, yoy. But do tell me, what's on YouTube? Because if there's a video, I so want to see it. Anyway, back to this. Putin's in a bubble. These people are in this unbelievable bubble that is just so divorced from reality. And it was like, I want that, I'm going to war. And they're getting bogged down. And Ukrainians are taking them down with jars of pickles. I will never, thank you for looking, Jeff. I will never forget the woman who was showing people how to drive a Russian military vehicle. And she's just, did flip this, and then you saw her at the wheel, and she's like, start. Great. Oh, yes, that's true, Artemis. And we cannot forget the Ukrainian mechanic who semi-sunk one of the oligarchs' super yachts in Majorca, Spain. Was taken in by authorities, but was strangely released, and he headed back to Ukraine to join the fight. Sherry H says that laugh as she drove off is the best part. Oh, yeah, driving the Russian military vehicle. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're talking about the cost of the cost of the yacht. Yes, I was talking about the ongoing cost. They cost, yes, at least 100 million, huge amounts, and then every year you have it, it's like another million, another million, another million. So, yeah. Oh, Diana Cachet says 180-foot super yacht, $4.74 million per year in just running it, just maintenance and staff and everything else. I wouldn't be surprised. Ghost of Gilead says, I don't understand why they haven't sanctioned the oligarchs' jets. They're still flying around. Oh, I thought they had, but Helen says the insurance alone is massive. Well, that would make sense. Yeah, the people working on the yachts, the staff, yeah. Wow. Okay, so at 28:30, Jeff's question. Is it possible that Putin and Russia are running out of money and weapons? I've read some predictions that say he cannot support a long military campaign financially. Can Putin sustain an extended military campaign? Can he financially withstand it? You guys have great questions. Ooh, Diana Cachet has the deets. 100 million maintenance and repairs, $350,000 dockage, $240,000 insurance, $400,000 in fuel, and $1.4 million for the crew. Wow. Thank you. Jeff Sitzman says the port in Mobico, I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that name, can charge $15,000 a day to wait for a berth. Dang. But is it possible Putin and Russia are running out of money and that they cannot support a long military campaign financially? Oh, I think some people are getting a little annoyed at me that I sometimes say I think it's a Google question. Someone was just asking about, well, a couple of countries join NATO and then said, Google is not for predictions. Sorry. Oh boy. I really should just 30. Monaco. Thank you, Holly and friends. Number one, I don't think we should underestimate the amount of fear people have of Putin within Russia. Like the anyone who might question him, if who is going to come to him and say, we don't have the funding for this, we don't have the money for this, we can't pay the soldiers, we can't replace the stuff. Putin's getting scarier by the minute, is what it feels like. CC Ryder says Poland is a NATO member, Finland is not, but they may be soon, so who knows. 8 of Cups. Having to walk away because the liberal line is holding, the liberal fight is holding, fighting night and day. Even if there are gaps, still they're still fighting night and day. Having to, and the was it back in the USSR, the Reds, the Ruskies, having to walk away. Obviously, they're not the Reds anymore, but you know what I mean. Sun, Page of Swords, 5 of Swords, Page of Swords. These are not good cards for him. 7 of Cups. Okay, what this has brought to light is the people, the Ukrainians who are crossing over right now would not agree. It doesn't feel like it on the ground. Doesn't feel like it at all on the ground. But this is weakness. This is military weakness. This is just a page. This isn't a king. This is insult to injury. Our drone was knocked down with a pickle jar. You know, that's insult to injury. That's just, you know, it's insulting. The tractors, the farmers coming along, grab extremely expensive military equipment, just down the road, low on money, not paying the troops enough, and then he's trying to keep up the facade about why all the finances in Russia are failing, and it's going to get worse. Oh, thank you, Fran. Thank you, Fran. I needed to hear that. Gary Atkins is saying their supply lines are getting cut off. Yeah. Pamela Bryant then offered to sell the tank on eBay. Oh, boy. Three more cards. So, Putin going to be able to afford, because right now your forces are looking weak. Sherry H says apparently Ukrainians are making catapults to launch whatever they can at drones in the Russian army. Nice. Ooh, Kristen says just in, the Ukrainian security service claims to have detained a Russian-backed cell that was supposed to pave the way for the creation of a new so-called Federal Republic of Ukraine. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Kristen also has news. Marco Rubio slammed for appalling and reckless ignorance for tweeting during the call with Ukraine's Zelensky. He's so awful. I'm getting a mental image of one of those Soviet-era posters, about our great workers and our grains of, fields of grain, and that's what I'm getting. It's this propaganda, but Putin lives in that idea. Nine of Wands, World, Queen of Pentacles. The soldiers are feeling really beaten up, and really there may not be enough, or there isn't as much stuff getting to the Ukrainian fighters from the West as I think there should be. But drones, hello. We could be giving them lots and lots of drones. We could. There's other stuff we could give them. And you can say it's defensive. It's all defensive. But this Queen of Pentacles, there's something here. He's tightening his grip on Russia. Diana Cachet saying, "Let the pickles begin." And the Russian soldiers are doing all kinds of damage inside Ukraine. Ruckus, Putin claiming victory. The West is still right there. So it's going to go on for far too long, is what I'm getting, as far as financially. Now, how it's going to get along, the Ukrainians are just... bless them. Joanne Morris says Biden could do a lend-lease like Roosevelt did in World War II. Mm-hmm. Oh, Ashley. Okay. And Deb Marsh has a point. I want to go back and watch the first impeachment proceedings regarding the damages 45 did with holding arms to Ukraine. It was also premeditated and horrible. Oh, Ukraine does have drones. And Pamela Bryant says, okay, Ukraine is using drones already. They are less than 8 feet long. They're undetectable with radar, and they're capable of dropping bombs. Yes. But I just think we could do more. They could probably use a few more, is my thinking. But anyway. Okay. Speaking of small crazy man, 3930, and I'm not talking about his height. Putin. So Russian President Vladimir Putin says that the sanctions introduced on his country are equivalent of a declaration of war. So is he going to just act out more and more and more? Does he really think that he's going to go there? He's going to go to war with the West? Dude, you will lose. I'm sorry. I know I'm American and we tend to be overconfident, but no, really, you will lose. One way or the other, you will lose. Sheila R. says, I think they just picked up jets in Poland. Good. Andrea Callas is saying Sweden has sent 5,000 anti-tank weapons. Good. Good. Joanne Marr says, the U.S. is doing more than we know. Guaranteed. Geek Hillbilly says, toy drones are being used to fight the Russians. Have to hand it to Ukrainians for ingenuity. Oh, all day long. Amazing. So, Vlad. Oh. Really? You're gonna... you think you're really going to... You want the bigger conflict. You want the wider conflict, huh? Actually, it feels like sanctions more than plans, but okay. It's a monetary plan. Okay. Queen of Swords. 7 of Wands. 5 of Swords. Chariot. Queen of Cups. Don't do it. I've been getting this mental image for a while of that map of Ukraine. And you know, in cartoons, I described this the other day. In cartoons where they'll have like a person standing on a map. And it feels like the whole military is right on that border, that western border with Ukraine, and they're just like leaning over, and they're just like, can we go in yet? Can we let us in? You know, we want to go. To protect Ukrainians, and it's a big force, and it's right there. And Ukrainians are doing an amazing job fighting back on their own and taking the Russian weapons to use for their own defense. Insult to injury. Putin is aggrieved because he's awful. But this is the West if they came together and joined their military might today. And it feels like Russian generals are saying, no, you can't get there from here. You can't get there from here. This is not a winnable situation. It just isn't. Pamela Bryant says, I fear he's going to literally flatten the country of Ukraine. They're going to try. Pamela Bryant, do you feel Putin is ill? He's mentally ill. I don't know about physically ill. I can't get past the mentally ill. He is incredibly isolated. Incredibly. He is in the biggest bubble. Think of a really, really vicious child who is also incredibly spoiled. And then isolate them, where they're only around people who will just, yes, whatever you say. Yes, we're not going to question you. Now give that child access to weapons. What was that? It's GM Dave saying bunker brain. Bunker brain for sure. So, Helen is saying they've been planning since the first Russian-Ukraine invasion in 2014. So one last thing, are we, you think you're going there, huh? I'm getting it. I can't get an end here. I can't. Is okay? This is the final card, but it feels like it's with this one. But is this the card for the reading, or is that the card for the reading? There's phenomenal hemming and hawing going on. Huge. That's the energy. Page of Cups, Thief. Oligarchs are pushing back, but oligarchs are also saying, look, they've already cut us off. They're already taking our stuff. They're already cutting us off. And now you want to go to war with them? No. We'll never be able to go back. We'll never be able to, we'll lose everything. There's some serious fighting within, arguing within. This is not Adolf with his closest SS monsters, and even some of them started getting a little. Maybe I should be going to Argentina. Yeah. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes in Russia right now than around Putin than we understand in the West. I think the big message I'm getting for today from watching the news, from the readings and what have you, is that I think a lot of us are looking at this through our own biases. In this, and not in a huge way. I'm not talking about, whether they should be attacking Ukraine or not. They shouldn't be. Period. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, just like people in the U.S. assuming that the Russian military is stronger than it is. People assuming that Ukraine would just fall. We're thinking this is what's going to happen, but we aren't seeing the reality. And in order for us to see the reality, we're going to have to listen to a lot of different voices who have more experience on the ground. So, anyway. Okay. So at 50, there was 50. Kristen had a question from Uncover the News. Will Georgia take up arms and create a second front to take back provinces lost to Russia in 2008? Let me see. Is there something? Georgia, Ukraine, Russia. Anything useful here? In Ukraine, Georgia sees powerful and worrying parallels. No, I don't. No, I don't need to study abroad. I've got to show you guys this. I was just looking for maybe another map so I could show you guys what we're talking about, and I'm going to share this because. Thank you. Nice, good try. Good effort. Google Maps. But when I put in Georgia, Ukraine, Russia, I got this. Study abroad. Really? That's not quite what I was going for, but sure. Yeah. All right. So Georgia's down here. Ukraine is here. Moscow, right there. So you got Russia here. So layers. No, I don't want layers. I don't want that. And I don't need COVID information. So anyway, this is what we're talking about, this area with Georgia, right? Just so we have some idea of what we are, just so we're on the same page. Katie Arbuckle says, this would be a good time for Navalny to escape. Look, Navalny is not the nicest person in the world. Let me tell you that. And there's a lot of talk of racism and yeah, but I have never in my life read on anybody who has a more fighting spirit, who is more determined to fight against authoritarians. I've never run across anything like it. You can throw anything at this man. You can poison him. You can put him in a coma. He will fight his way out if there is any chance whatsoever, as long as there is breath in his body. So in that sense, yeah. So will Georgia take up arms and create a second front? Okay. That would be warfare. That would be them looking at what's going on right there. Tower. Two of Cups. Devil. Death. Six of Swords. These are refugees. They've been through a lot. They've been through. Yeah, yikes, Ashley, I agree. Yeah. But this isn't Georgia fighting. This isn't Georgia taking up arms. This is Georgia. Okay, that was a mental image I didn't need. I don't want to say that. I have to put in a trigger warning. Georgia is, they know what Russia's capable of. They've been through all of the awfulness. And they're afraid. They have, Ian McGrath says, Georgia's a nasty, nasty country with loads of mafia. Well, it may be, but I'm just getting a lot of worry, fear of regular people. But I'm not getting them. Let us pick up arms and fight. I'm getting a. Oh, Sharon Sipe was making egg rolls. Yum. Martin Winter saying, will Putin use the nuclear power plants as blackmail? Maybe. We should look at that. Diana Cachet saying that devil card keeps coming up in readings from all readers. Lena even got both of the devil cards in one reading. It's the corruption. It's it's what Putin's doing. I mean, if we want to talk about vibration levels, Putin's vibration level on a scale from 0 to 100 is at what? Negative 50? But let's look at 59. Actually, let's look at the nuclear power plants. Considering the workers at, is it at Chernobyl or is it I can't pronounce it. The one that was being shot at the other day. And I'm not gonna, you know what I mean. So is Putin going to thank you, Fran. Is Putin going to use the nuclear power plants as blackmail, fear tactics, or is he just trying to get them to cut off power? Or both. But is he going to use that for some kind of blackmail? Because if there is, apparently, thank you, Arasalia. No, that's not an L. Saya. Saya? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Marcia, too. If there's an accident at one of those power plants in Ukraine that Russia's has under control, apparently there's talk that would give NATO the excuse to say, okay, we're done here, and move in to secure the nuclear stations. That's what I've heard. Knight of Cups. They're right there. The NATO forces, they're right there. Give us an excuse. Give us an excuse. Zaporizhia. Zaporizhia? Is that it? Gary, thank you. Zaporizhia. I'm hoping that's close. Four of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Five of Wands. See, this feels like there aren't. If Russia is going to take over these nuclear power plants, and apparently there are several, they need to get their own scientists in there, and because the soldiers who are there, they don't know what they're doing, and apparently they're holding the workers hostage and giving them no time off at all, like no shift change, no nothing. And you just can't keep that. That's not sustainable. People need to sleep. This card feels like soldiers who have no idea what they're doing. This is Russia, the people back in Russia, the leaders or people organizing the invasion or whatever, just saying, yes, we'll do that. This will be fine. It'll blah, 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 blah. So here, I would think this would be something related to this, but this has to do with knowledge of what to do with the nuclear stuff. But this feels like sanctions. This feels like the Russians are actually more caught up in their own financial stuff. And they're going to end up they're on the defensive. So they should be focusing on this, but this feels like they're not giving it as much attention as they should. Shockwave says, breaking news. Italy just seized $156 million worth of Russian oligarchs' assets. Thank you, Italy. They're not paying as much attention to this problem as they should. So what's going to go on with this whole nuclear thing? 10430. I know I had a bunch of questions today, but these just seem really pressing. 10430. Nuclear in Ukraine. I don't know if I'm going to get to will the Russian people revolt, Amy. I don't think I've got so many questions that I'm not getting to, but I'm literally here every single day of the year, weekends, weekdays, holidays, your birthday, my birthday, I'm always here. So if you just put the questions in just before I go, so between like 11:30 and noon Central Time in the U.S., I'd be happy to read on that. I just don't think I'm going to get to it today. Oh, Louise, Sherry just got the Gilded Tarot deck. It's beautiful. I'm glad you like it. I do. There are two decks I keep in my little handmade pouch here, and that's one of them. Yeah. All right. I needed that little break there for a second. Sorry. This energy is, yeah, it's a thing. So, nuclear anything in Ukraine, is there going to be a mishap? Because the soldiers they have there do not know what they're doing. I don't believe for a second that I'm getting 100% the Ukrainian scientists would not sabotage that. No. They would not sabotage anything that would risk that radiation from getting out. I'm 100% not a chance. That's the energy I'm getting. But sabotage, so it would shut everything down so it was unusable, but it was safe? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ashley. And the energy is pretty heavy. All right, nuclear. Oh, people are on edge. People are scared. Yes, could you please not shoot at the nuclear device? Yes. Heaps. Holly Friend says, if the nuclear plant loses power, it creates a major problem with the cooling ponds. Yikes. Oh, dear. You don't mess with this. No touching. No touching. Don't touch that. Don't hit that button. Don't turn that off. Five of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. Ace of Wands. Ukraine fighting back. Russia's disappointed that they haven't been able to just stroll into the country and say, nice country, I think I'll take it. No, that hasn't worked. But they still see themselves as, aha, look what we have. Look what the land we've got. And look at the nuclear plants we've that are under our control or whatever it is. We're so great, aren't we? Great. But this is I've been getting wands for Russia's attack on Ukraine. That's what they're using. And this feels like Ukrainians scooping up the Russian stuff, taking the border and just going, poof. And then taking maybe one of their own weapons and smacking them with their own weapon. Luckily, I'm not getting Wheel of Fortune. If there was going to be a nuclear accident or accident on purpose, I'd be expecting Devil, Wheel of Fortune, Death, big scary cards, and I'm just not, maybe even High Priestess, but I'm not getting that here. So I'm going to slowly back away from the reading. It's like, okay, I'm not getting anything scary, so I'm just going to very carefully just put that back there before anything happens to it. Okay, backing away slowly. Jeez. Amy Luan is saying, I heard the plants are being cooled down. They are okay so far, but plant workers are being held at gunpoint. And I heard the Russians planted explosive near the plant. Wow, how stupid is that? Wow. Oh, Kathy Anderson likes the steampunk deck. Oh, nice. I would use it more. It's just a little bit dark. Pamela Bryant says, Boo-Boos and Kitty says, I need mommy's lap. Aw. He is. Actually, I think he left. Are you here? Are you here, precious? Oh, yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is. Look at that good kitty. Oh, look at that good kitty. Hi. Hello, precious. How are you? Oh, you're so good. Oh, you're so good. You're so good. Look at you. Oh, he's a precious. Come here, sweetheart. He's like, I don't want to go. Oh, come here. Come here. Oh, there's a good kitty. Oh, there's a good kitty. He's like, I was sleeping. Oh, you're so good. Yes, you are. Look at that precious kid. Look at that good boy. Good boy. Good boy. He's like, I was sleeping and I was all warm. You are the good Bailey Boo. You are the good Boo. Good Bailey Boo. Oh, dear heart. He's good. He's so good. You are precious. And you're just as sweet. Precious. Do you want to be? Oh, big stretch. Oh, big stretch. Yes, precious one. Yes, precious one. You're a good boy. All right, so he's going to sit here for a minute. Oh, you're so good. You are a great co-host when you're not napping. Yes, exactly. Exactly, good boy. Did you want down? He's like, yes, I want to go back to sleep. Come on. I'm going to get you back to sleep. Oy. Oy. Which is where you wanted to be in the first place. Yes. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. All right. All right. Had a little pleasant kitty energy. Plucky heroine, yes, it is Catter Day after all. Every day's Catter Day, but I know what you mean. Steve says, oh, I walked away from the phone for 10 minutes, come back to a screen full of fur. Yes, and now it's all over me, and I don't care. Oh, Diane Keshi says, my cat is responding to you. You're such a good boy voice. Oh, and Rob D, scritch, scritch, scritch. Yes. Oh. Boo-boo. Phyllis says, Boo-Boos and Kitty hasn't been missing any meals, has he? He's okay. He's physically a big cat. He just is. So, and I used to be 5'4". I'm probably 5'3.5" now or something, but anyway. Diane Cashy says he came over to my lap. I'm like, I wasn't the one talking. Good kitty. Good kitty. Ashley says, big kitty, happy kitty. Yes. Don Gubb says he's big boned. They're both big cats. So. Oh yes, Plucky Hero, and he's fluffy perfection. Well, I love him just the way he is. Miss Cat M, treats for the kitties. I will do that. Thank you. All right, back to horrible. All right, so we've looked at war, the potential of nuclear accidents. Yeah, okay. Jolie S says, I have a cat just like Boo Boo's and Kitty. He's a big boy as well. He eats, but his is all muscle. And you guys are saying, you're so nice to him. Thank you. Artificial wisdom says, I'm not fat, I'm fluffy. So anyway. All right. Ian McGrath, Autumn 5-4. Interesting. I thought you may have been 5-5. Oh no. Last I growing up I was 5-4. But I'm older now and I've probably shrunk a tiny bit. Claudette says, can you give my channel a shout out, please? Ascend Tranquility Breathing. I'm happy to say, I'm afraid I don't know your channel though. But I've mentioned it. Hopefully it's good. It's kind. It's a good place. So Phyllis Rowan says, I don't mean he's overweight. My Tyrone was a big boy. God rest his kitty soul. Oh, bless. Bless Tyrone. Okay. Miss Cat and my Simon and Monkey insisted on Temptations for Boo Boo's and Kitty and Sir Pumpkin. Yeah, there's a big container sitting on the counter right now. It just opened up, so. Ashley says I'm 5'4" too. I was 5'5" as a teenager. Yeah, so I'm probably 5'3" and 3/4 or half, 5'3.5", 5, whatever. Before I get back to the ratings, and yes, I will do a couple more. I want to say, isn't Kirsten Langston, the beautiful Kirsten Langston, isn't she like 5'2"? I want to say she's one of the shorter readers. And I don't know who the tallest is. Women. I don't know. But I don't know how she does it. But Kirsten looks fantastic. So. Jeff Sitzman says, I used to be 5'7". All right, let me get back to Lena. May be the tallest, says Helen. She does seem quite tall. Is it just that her camera is always kind of lower, or does Marianne seem quite tall? But it might just be that her camera is always slightly lower than eye level. Then again, we look up to her anyway on Revealing Light. She's great. Spiralize says, why are we so obsessed with height? Oh, I don't know. I don't even know that we're obsessed. I just find it interesting. I've been best friends with Sarah for a decade now. Talk to her constantly. Video conference all the time, daily, almost every single day. On and on and on. I've never met her in person. She lives on the other side of the country. She doesn't travel, and I don't either. So, but we, and apparently she's 5'6", 5'7". Anyway, she's taller than I am. She's a good, taller than I am. I don't know. So anyway, Alexander says, I'm 5'6" and always wanted to be shorter. Aditya is 6'1". Very cool. Teresa Ford says, I was 5'9", but I haven't checked, so who knows? Sherry is saying most of the females in my family are barely 5 feet or shorter. Elizabeth Hayes is saying I'm 5'9". Fran Urbina says I'm only 4'9" and I feel great, and you should. And you should. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, Don. Oh, Frida Smet as well. Sorry. Jeff Sitzman says, I've been short all of my life. Short people live longer. Ms. Cadam says, my legs are long enough to reach the ground. Good. Aspie Third Eye's almost 5'8". Nice. Mary Martell is 5 foot even. Well, this is great. This is just nice to know. It's just a sense of, if I was in a room with you, would I be, craning my head up? Would I be looking down? Would I be eye level? Nothing's better or worse. It's just a nice way to think about if I was standing in front of you, what would it be like? That's all that means. I'm having trouble picturing not being at eye level with Kirsten, though, and actually having to look down slightly. I can't picture it. She's bigger than life. All right. Rob D says, you stand tall in my eyes. Why, thank you. Oh, let's not talk about driver's licenses. My driver's license says I'm 5'4". Okay, the weight on driver's licenses, oh, yeah, let's not talk about that. All right. It's 1:43. Let me see if I can jump into a couple more of these questions, because these are, poof. Let me see, what is the most pressing, or what's calling to me here? Here is at 1:23:30. Okay, 1:23:30. Zelensky is on call with U.S. senators, asked for a no-fly zone, but lethal aid, ban on Russian oil, and there's talk that there may be that might happen. But also wants Visa and Mastercard use suspended in Russia. So Visa and Mastercard use suspended in Russia. Oh, my nephews tower over me. My nephews are at least, like, oh my gosh, 3 of them are nearing, like, being a foot taller than I am. In fact, I think one of them is. Yeah. Spiral Life says PayPal suspended also. Is that what they want? Or sorry, I got distracted. But right now, Russia, are they going to stop Visa and MasterCard use? Hello, sweetheart. How you doing? Are they going to stop Visa and MasterCard use in Russia? Are they going to do that? What do you think? What do you think, sweetheart? Do you think that's going to happen? Well, sweetie. Well, that's some action, and that could be very well be transactions, communications. Okay, for some reason you want in the closet. What's in the closet? Did you knock your... There you go. Every once in a while he'll knock one of his toys underneath the gap. Queen of Cups. Queen of Wands. Page of Wands. Knight of Swords. Ooh, they might do it. I was like, this, I don't know about this. This is just kind of going on. This is a messenger. This is the war, financial war, the sanctions, but this causing this being a part of this lack of funds, lack of being able to use this messenger, they might do it. I'm sure their shareholders are probably going, but Marie Henson says, I thought they already did. Maybe they did. Could someone check Google for me, please? Oh, thank you, Patrice. Thank you for being here. Craig Dixon says McDonald's and Burger King haven't pulled out of Russia yet. Whoa. No, they haven't, says Craig. Okay. I think there already is kind of a run on the banks, Jeff. You mean there or here? Because I don't think it's going to be here. That's true, Marie Henson. Info changes 4 times a day now. I agree. All right, that would be the choice. And also that exchange. Judgment, star, 6 of, yeah. This is the cards. That could not be a bigger yes. We are passing judgment. The star, the symbols on credit cards. Or the symbol of the credit card companies is what I'm getting there. And then Russians having to use their own smaller local thing. That's what the cards are saying. Hi. Wake up. All right. So, Alexander says Forbes says MasterCard and Visa have suspended use. Okay. Well, the cards are definitely saying that's they Amy Luen says, I'm not sure they stopped all transactions. Could be. Spiralize says they can use the Kentucky money. Yeah, right. Exactly. All right, so at 129, let's go on to staff at Chernobyl remains trapped. We kind of looked at that. Protests. Oh, somebody sees a bird. Somebody had the question, will Putin claim Alaska as part of Russia? I don't think so, but I could at least pull a couple of cards on it. Well, we don't need to worry, really, because if there's any kind of invasion or something coming, what's her name will warn us. Sarah Palin will warn us, I'm sure, if the Russians are coming. You're a good boy. Would you like down? Yes. Would you like down? All right. Ground floor. There you go. You're sweet. So thin and frail. Don't you overfeed. Yeah, at this point, does he want all of Alaska or just Palin's property? Kidding. Well, if he's dumb enough to start picking war, that would be stupid. This is the U.S. This is all 50 states. We're not giving them up. Judgment. Can you imagine even the far right if Russia invaded Alaska? I think even the diehard Trumpians would be like, oh, no. You keep moving. You move right along because no. Susie says, Susie Buckingham says there are so many military bases in Alaska. Yes. Yeah. Ashley says, Six of Swords, please go home now. Yes. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. All right. And I'm trying to see if there's anything. Well, okay, let's look at 132.30. 132.30. And again, thank you guys for being here with these great questions. So American support for all of this. Because apparently Americans broadly support a Ukrainian Ukraine no-fly zone and a ban on Russian oil, even though that ban on Russian oil will. You're going to complain about the ban? You're going to complain about the price of gas? Huh? Are you going to complain about the price of gas because of the ban on Russian oil? Red Dawn, exactly, Jeff Sitzman. U.S. support for protecting Ukraine. I'm steeped in this stuff. Pretty much you're steeped in this stuff too, news-wise. But it definitely, Ukraine has definitely won the PR war on this one. The country's being stolen. Frida Smet says 7% of U.S. oil is Russian. Oh, geez. Ace of Swords. Eight of Cups. U.S. support for helping Ukraine. Nine of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. Well, we're already helping financially to some extent. It feels like we're just like bringing stuff up to the border and just going, here, take it. Here, take more. Because of this military action, people do have their own economic worries. But if Russia keeps going, it's going to depend if Putin just keeps slogging away in Ukraine and then that's it. I think the status quo will go. But this feels very much like if Putin starts dipping his toe across other borders and he starts talking about potentially starting to do stuff against us, significant stuff against the West, in the US, that could turn pretty quickly. And the Republicans who have been pushing Russia's so great, even Takio Rose talking about how great Russia is and Putin is, even they're changing their tune a bit. But Amy Luann is saying Russia will keep going if they can get away with it. I agree with that. I actually do. I hate to say it. Oh boy. True, Helen. Appeasing aggressors has never worked well long term. Agreed. Having a quick look. Diane Cachet says, who does not think Putin will start dipping his toe? Yep. Alexandra Bellino is saying Israel PM holds off call to Zelensky after a call to Putin? Oh, I didn't think to look on Alexander Vindman's Twitter feed. Oh, shoot. All right, well, maybe I'll be able to bring that video, to show you that video tomorrow, because what he was talking about was really good, and I haven't heard much about his viewpoint. So, all right. Well, actually, that's going to do it for me for today. That was a lot. And somebody wants to go back to sleep. So anyway, it is 1:58 p.m. here in Chicago. In 2 hours, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel to do 4 creative sprints. You're always welcome. And other than that, I'll be right back here tomorrow. Teresa Ford, I agree, it was intense. And yes, Sharon, I'm sending prayers to Ukraine. Divine Spirit, bless all who are struggling today, especially those in Ukraine who are fighting for their freedom. Raise the vibration. Raise the vibration of all the world so everyone recognizes we are in this together. We are all one. For peace, for health, for goodness, for kindness and compassion. All right. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you. All right, guys, hang in there. There are good days ahead, even if it doesn't seem like it sometimes. There are. All right. So I'll see you over at Book Art Media in a couple of hours, or otherwise I will see you right back here tomorrow. Thank you. All right. Hang in there. Good days ahead. Don't forget.